Amigos de Infopits, es un gusto estar con ustedes. Estamos en el Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez y ya lo vieron, Alessandro Alunni. ¿Es correcto la pronunciación?
Correcto, perfecto.
Alessandro entiende muy bien español, sin embargo vamos a hacer estas entrevistas en inglés y después ya vamos a ver aquí los subtítulos. Alessandro, welcome to Mexico City.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to be here. And thanks for your time. I know you are very busy here. You're a lawyer. Tell me, what...
It's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but it's so different than we are looking in the paddock. Tell me, how did you pass to be a lawyer to be a director of Formula One team? Sauber, also a big name in the industry.
First of all, I'm still a lawyer because as a managing director, I'm also in charge as a general counsel for the Sauber group.
Okay.
So I'm still, working as a lawyer for the company, as I've done in the past, from the beginning of my professional career for drivers, for teams or race promoters. I always have a nice, I would say, episode here because I was a lawyer for 7 years of the Automobile Club del West, the ICO, the organizer of the World Endurance Championship. Mm-hmm. So I've been here for the 6 horas of Mexico City as a lawyer in charge for the organization of the race.
So it's not first time in Mexico City. You come with the Gonzalez organization.
Yeah, with Ricardo, of course. Yeah, I was working for the championship organizer, but I was the one, who introduced him to the WEC. Then I was in charge for the relationship and all the organization, to create the liaison between him and the WEC organizer. And I know Mexico very well. I've been working with Esteban Gutierrez, when he was in Fórmula E and then in IndyCar as his manager. So I have a lot of connection, and Mexico I like. I'm used to come with my family during Christmas time, in the Maya coast, Playa Maroma, Cancun, Tulum. So I like the city. I've been spending quite a lot of time in Mexico, but especially now with Formula One, this is one of the most beautiful venues where you can really feel, the passion, and you are in close contact with the fan. So for everybody to be here is a pleasure. But coming back to your question, I always been a lawyer in my career, and this helped me to have a rational approach. Helped me in my, the way I work, I approach problems. And I think has been important for me. But I've always been working also as a manager in the company where I was lawyer or general counsel. So I had a mix of experience working not just as a consultant, for drivers, as a driver's manager or for teams, but then I have experience in the World Rally Championship. I've been the general manager of the Italian round of WRC in 2003 and 2004, and then I have my GP2
you have
team.
Been working in Formula 3000, Formula 1, GP2, World Rally Championship. Tell me, what are the biggest difference you find in comparison with Formula 1?
Complexity. Of course, Formula 1
complexity in Formula 1.
Formula 1. Complexity, because in Formula 1, first of all, we are a real technology sport. So where we are a large corporation, and we need to have technology and expertise in different areas. We are now a big group of people that you need to manage, but what is difficult is always to manage people. And, in Formula 1 is even more difficult because of all the pressure that is on everybody to deliver performance, because of the very short time to take decision. And for me, what is important and different in Formula 1 is that each race is a new exam. So you never finish, to work, you never finish to develop. And this, ongoing process is extremely, demanding for all the people working for Formula 1.
How many people work in Sauber, in an Alfa Romeo team?
We are still young, and we are still a small team. So we are more than 550 people now. But of course, as you know, we are in a transformation process because we will be the Audi Works team as of the 2026 season. So we are developing our structure. We are, of course, recruiting people because we need to become bigger, but also to inject in the company technology and, of course, people with quality, with a higher expertise, because the challenge 2026 for our team will be big.
And that's gonna be my next question. Tell me about the transition to Alfa Romeo, it's a big brand, to another big brand, is Audi. How difficult is, how simple, the transparency is going to be a new team for the challenge is big, isn't it? Tell me, how is managed that? Because you are the responsible of all that. I don't
Yeah.
to scare you, but you are the responsible of that. Tell me about this transition.
First of all, we started a partnership, a commercial partnership with Alfa Romeo 6 years ago that we will be concluded this year.
Yeah.
And then in the next 2 years, of course, we will go back to our heritage as a Sauber team. And the transition, of course, is crucial, because we need to develop our structure from an independent team to a works team. And this, of course, will have an impact on all the departments. We don't need just to have more people working and more technology, but we need to establish clear processes, because, of course, one of the key factors for competition in 2026 will be to have a perfect integration between the chassis department in India and the engine department in Neuburg. I think this is also one of the key for the performance of the top teams like Ferrari, like Mercedes or Red Bull, to have a perfect integration. And this, of course, imply clear processes and a clear organizational structure. So the main, I would say, difference from now is that all the team need to do a step in terms of the way we work, the way we communicate, and of course we will have more people, more responsibility. And what is important is that we identify clear roles and we put people in the right position to deliver job without slowing down too much the process because of the size of the company. Efficiency will be still and even more a key.
How difficult is that, Alessandro, when you are working, you are in the middle of a championship that has competition every week?
Yeah.
How difficult is that? Because I can tell you, okay, you have experience, you can do that. Please go to Germany, see the engine factory, come back, and I'm very sure you can do it. But also go to Mexico, go to Austin, see the competition, manage the process, and then you go to Mexico City, and then you go to Brazil. How difficult is? You have 2 jobs right now.
Yeah, it's difficult, but it's important that you rely on the people working with you. For me, what is key is to have a strong group that work together. And okay, for me, it's important to have a proper overview, to know everything, to give the right guideline and instruction, but then to have people that deliver the job you expect and that they are able, to close the cycle. We need people that at any level is not just able to execute, but that they can manage the process entirely by themselves. And I'm lucky to have this kind of group of people, although we are small, but I rely on the guys working together. Of course, it's 2 jobs.
Yeah.
So, my day is always longer than what it should be.
Yeah, of course.
Because when you are, we stop working on track, I need to take care of many tasks in the office. I've done, this morning before, being with you here, spend 3-4 hours just to, looking at all the emails, to speak with the people back at Inville, to plan, the next steps, next week. This is part of the job. Of course, it's tough, but for me, it's also important to be efficient and not to have too many people, but to have everything under control, to understand what is going on each day in the factory, and to be able to give answers to our people. I think the people responsible for each department, the most important thing is that we are able to take decision and to give answer to our people. I always said it's better to take a bad decision, but to take a decision and not to keep things open.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm doing on a daily basis. Takes decisions.
Yeah, of course. I want to talk about drivers, and Sauber is well known to select young drivers to with the time, our champion like Kimi, or are fighting the runner-up champion like Checo, and we have a lot of examples about that. Can you tell me about the direction of Sauber young driver program? Now with Audi in mind, because we know Audi closed the program a few years ago,
Yeah.
a long years ago, and in the WEC program, they closed that program, and they already closed the other programs. So how gonna be this? Sauber, you have your own program. Tell me about that.
So first of all, we have the Sauber Academy. You know, we launched the Sauber Academy in 2018. The first time we made, I would say, an agreement with teams in order to have our own filière of teams. We are in Formula 4, Formula 3, Formula 2, and then we select in each category what we thought was the very best driver that can suit our overall strategy. So now in the Sauber Academy, we have Theo Pourchaire that is fighting for the title in Formula 2. So I think that was a good appointment for us, and he's today here performing the FP1 session in Mexico City. He's one of our reserve drivers.
In a couple of hours.
In a couple of hours. We have Lena Buller that this year finished P2, so front runner in the FIA Formula 1 Academy. We have a driver in karting, 14 years old driver, Time Saleh, that is in OK Junior, and next year will be in OK. But of course, we are going also to transform our academy. There will be something really important in the future, and we will have an academy that with the target to identify, select, and develop the very best talent in order to bring them to the Formula 1 team. But this will be a long process, and of course we already plan to have to develop further the academy in order to be ready for 2026.
You're working with Audi, of the hand of Audi. Audi has to have any decision about that.
Audi AG is one of our shareholders already. So in January, as you know, they acquire a minority shareholding. There will be also a further step ahead of the 2026 season, and it's a normal dynamic with the shareholders, in the board, with the member that is nominated by Audi. We discuss all the most important matters. One of the matter, of course, is drivers, and drivers is not just official race drivers, but also the junior program in order to have our own filière of young drivers that should be ready for, the Audi Works team to take the chance to become our official race driver.
The last one, Alessandro, because I know you have a lot of work here in Mexico City. Tell me this rule about the cost, the cut of cost, and the FYI say you can't expend, not only you, all the teams, you can expect this. This is a limit. Tell me about how difficult it is when you are in a program and in develop a new team. How difficult it is be in the rule.
First of all, one important thing.
And you agree with that?
I agree.
Okay.
But let me know that the cost cap, the financial regulation, is one of the three main pillars that help us to grow as F1 and to have a sustainable business model for all the teams, and to have this kind of steady growth for Formula 1. One of the pillars, of course, has been the new Concord agreement that has been signed in 2021. The financial regulation for me and the cost cap, and the third pillar, of course, is Liberty Media, because they are doing an incredible job promoting our sports, in transforming our sport from a mere sport event into an entertainment and lifestyle event. Cost cap is crucial, because it allows in the medium long term to have a convergence in terms of performance between all the teams. Of course, we work in a kind of box of limited resources. This means that efficiency is crucial. We need to be really precise to allocate the resources where it counts, and we always look at, as a team, to allocate resources in the performance-related departments, for the car performance as a priority, but we need also to have a lean structure and to have processes that allow us to be really, on time. This is important. For me, cost cap is good thing for Formula 1, because allow to reduce the big gaps and to have more
And you
teams
can fight.
that can compete. Of course, we know that it's difficult to compete for the top position, but we have seen also this year teams like Alpine, Aston Martin, McLaren, not just ourselves, that are able to certain Grand Prix to be closer.
Yeah.
So I think
They
that
have
this is the
podiums.
right trajectory.
Okay.
Of course, everything can be improved. As you've seen, the stakeholders have approved to give an extra allowance in terms of investment, to increase the capex amount for the teams according to the constructor championship position, so to rebalance the gap that is existing between the top teams and the other in terms of infrastructure. This, I think, is also another good decision. We have already this in terms of aerodynamic testing, because there is this aerodynamic testing restrictions.
Yeah.
That is, each team can develop more if it's in the back of the field. And I think we introduce the same system for the investment in order to allow small teams to reduce the gap from the top teams. Everything is important in Formula One. We always know that the balance between having a sustainable model and not is always very delicate. The
Thin line.
financial regulation helps to keep Formula One sustainable.
Okay. 10 teams or more?
10 teams.
Okay, that's it. Gracias por estar con nosotros. Sigan en los canales de Infopits, Alessandro. Gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Bienvenido
Un placer
a México de
de
nuevo.
hablar contigo. Perdona por mi español. Vamos
No,
a practicar un poquito más por
El
hablar
próximo año.
el próximo año, todo en español.
Gracias, quédense en Infopits.
Muchas gracias.